Hey guys, what is going on? It's Jake aka Parky1 here, and welcome to a brand new series on the channel. Now I know you've probably not seen a lot of content on here. In fact, you haven't seen any content on here for a long time. But I thought I'd bring back a classic series that I enjoy making, and people seem to enjoy it when I actually put it out in FIFA 16, and that is my Fleetwood Town career mode. And we're starting it off by picking the club, obviously, and now we're creating a manager in my name. And you'll see shortly that I pick the shirt and tie option, which is something that I actually wear to work. So I feel like the mode of realism in this career mode is actually looking really good. And what we're going to do here is we're going to pick the biggest prize pot on the preseason tournament, and let's just get on with it, because I feel like the preseason tournament, you don't actually play it, it's just more money that floods into the career mode that helps you get on your way. Now we're going straight into the squad hub. Now this is a new feature this year that I am actually really enjoying, and it's the fact that it shows all the stats and all the information that you need in one area. And someone who just flashed up on the screen there doesn't actually belong in my squad because he doesn't in real life. Now Michael Duckworth, he's a 25-year-old right back, 190,000 and 1,000 wage, and he's on a 5-year deal, but in fact he doesn't actually play for Fleetwood Town. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell him off as quick as I can, get the money that will help us progress in this career mode. A few other notable players in here actually are Michael Donoghue, Elliot Osborne, and someone who will pop up in a second, which is Ashley Nadesan. Now these three haven't really had much first team experience, but I kind of get Elliot Osborne as he's on loan and he is playing for Morecambe. But Michael Donoghue, he's not actually been on the pitch for the first team. He's been on the bench, but he's never actually had his league debut for Fleetwood, so that's a very weird one. But I kind of get the fact that he came from Everton, which is quite a big deal, but I don't know, he's quite a young prospect, and that I'm going to enjoy actually playing him in my second team, which you'll see later on. But before that, we're actually going to show my first team, and what we're building here is a 4-2-3-1 narrow formation, which is quite a solid one, with 5 in the midfield, 1 up front, 4 at the back. That's essentially what I'm gonna say it as. We've got pace up front, we've got a packed midfield, which I like because I like passing. Like, that is my style, and you'll see that when we actually start playing the games. You'll see that I actually love passing the ball around, and this formation probably suits me. And there's a quick look at the formation there, because it goes off before I actually get to actually read it. But now that's done, something that I mentioned before is the actual cup squad. Now I see people like picking certain players out the teams and like swapping the odd one in and out, but I like to actually have a cup squad. Now because Fleetwood have about 24 players, or maybe 25 players, you actually have enough to have 2 full squads. And with the versatility of career mode rather than ultimate team, say when you are stuck to a position, I can actually throw players in positions that they wouldn't normally be allowed to. Now Ash Hunter actually plays on the wing in real life, so I thought I'd throw him on the left rather than the right, instead of actually having Donoghue there, because Donoghue's purely a right-sided midfielder. So I thought, put Donoghue in his strength, put Ash on the other wing, because he is perfectly capable in real life of playing both wings, Conor McElhaney in the middle, and that front three is absolutely solid. Pond and Bolger at the back, you can't get much stronger than that, with Godswill and Maguire on the wings. Now, those two are pretty weak in this career mode, but that is an area that I want to progress later on and throughout the seasons, hopefully. Now the next thing I did was went into the transfer hub, and these are a few of the players that I pre-scouted before this video. Now I started with Scott Bain in net, we had Ledbetter, Romeo, Dummigan, Cannon and Kinsella all at right back. We have Guthrie, Nugent, Lindsay, Harding and Facey in the centre back positions, and Jack Robinson, Bidwell and Fox, Toffolo and Brendan Galloway at left back. So you see that I'm trying to forge a new defence out the side. And another position we're actually struggling in is the actual defensive midfield. So I had a look at Jack McCourt, but unfortunately I can't get him straight away. And you see Billy Bowden and Mendes Liang here, which are pre-contract ideas. I've got Curtis Edwards, Ollie Rathbone, George Dobson, Scott Cashgett. Like, you can see the common trend here, which are quite young players that have some potential, but I'm going for a proper realistic career mode. Like, I'm trying to think that, for me, we are in the United Kingdom, we're in the British Isles, so most of our players should be from the British Isles. So what I've done, I've scouted the players from England, Ireland, Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and actually thrown them into our transfer hub. So that's going to be something that we're going to look at later on. But for now, we're actually going to look at Michael Duckworth and something that I said earlier on, which I put him on the transfer market. And Ashley Addison, considering we have quite a lot of strikers, I've thrown Ashley Addison on the loan market, as well as Jack Sowerby, because he is our lowest rated midfielder. Now, this is the first kind of look at the new transfer system. Now, I've seen other people do this, and when I actually played this career mode, like, episode, I thought it was pretty decent, so I decided to do all of them myself. And you see the first one that came in, it was actually Grimsby Town, who actually came in for a 26-year-old centre-back in Ashley Eastham. And he's our starting centre-back, so I thought 425,000 is his value, so I asked for 550. Essentially, I'm not going to try and sell our main centre-back on a cheap, but if he offers us a good deal, I will go for it. And they came back, obviously, with 520,000, which is 30,000 lower than what I asked for, but it's also 95,000 more than his actual current value. So I thought I'd counter this straight away. I thought they're already offering quite a bit of money, so I'll go further towards my offer than theirs, but I'm kind of going mid-range, and 540,000 is what I actually decided on. Now, I didn't know whether they were going to accept this, but you'll see in a second that they do actually accept 540,000. So that instantly made me think, like, oh crap, I didn't think I was going to actually sell this guy. So I have to get a new centre-back. But obviously I had other things on, and it's actually our first game of pre-season against Vercelli in the European International Cup. Now, we went behind early on after Ricevic, I think that's how you say his name, scored. But Amari Bell, a very unlikely scorer, got a brace in the middle of Ricevic's brace, actually, which is something I wasn't really expecting. 2 braces in the first pre-season game, but a 2-2 draw. Normally what Fleetwood Town actually do in their pre-season is it's very poor. Like, they normally make us lose all of the games if you simulate them, but well, we've actually got a draw out of that, which is really good. Now we've got another transfer negotiation, and this was an awkward one as Preston came in for our 27-year-old right winger / cam, and also highest rated player at the club, Bobby Grant. Now, I wasn't going to let him go on a cheap. Like, his current value is 600,000, and they offer 660. Now, I wasn't going to let him go to a rival. Even though they're in a higher league, they are still a rival on the cheap. So I said to him, 825,000, you can take it or leave it. And they came back with 670, and I'm not being funny. Bobby Grant will not be going to a rival for 670,000. I counted them again, because I wasn't having any of this. I said 800,000, final offer, you can take it or leave it. I've offered you 825,000, now I'm going to offer you 800,000, and they said, absolutely not. The price is too high, and even though my guy, he absolutely looks distraught, I don't care one bit, because I'm actually quite happy that he didn't go. And there is the confirmation, by the way, that Ashley Eastham did actually go to Grimsby Town, as well as interest shown in one of our players, like we put on our transfer hub. But I wasn't really focused on that. Ashley Eastham was the main goal there. We sold him for 540,000, and 375,000 went into the pot that we can use for transfers. And we actually got a loan offer for Jack Sowerby from Forest Green, which is one of the big career mode teams this year, and I accepted it straight away, considering like it's a League 2 side and he should be doing really well in League 2. Now here's our second game of pre-season against Citadella, and Devante Cole actually put us ahead 4 minutes into the game, but Lettieri equalised in the 45th. Yori actually missed the penalty for them in the 66th, and Bobby Grant came back a minute later and won the game for Fleetwood, which is brilliant. But Jack Sowerby rejected his loan move. And actually, that's where we're going to leave it for today. I think that's quite a good place to stop, considering that we've had a few transfers, a few games, we've had a bit of action, the squad report, we've had everything. So anyway, I'm just going to sign out with my normal sign out, which is see you later, guys.